Our next speaker is the current National Technical Director for Molten-Salt reactors. So the first person whose primary job is about molten-salt reactors on there. And this is Dr. Patricia Paviet.
I am the new National Technical Director for this campaign. It started in March, around 8 months ago. We see this campaign as the hub for efficiently and effectively addressing, in partnership with other stakeholders, the technology challenges for MSR to enter the commercial market. So the campaign, if you want, is divided in 4 big tasks. And the first one that I see, which is very important, and I talked a lot to the industry, it's the salt chemistry, the thermophysical properties and thermochemical properties of molten salts, combining experiments with computational chemistry. So that's our first big task. The second one is technology development and demonstration, emphasizing on sensors development, looking at radionuclide release. As you know, this country has a sword upon our shoulders, the EPA and the NRC regulations. We cannot release what we want. So we want to make sure that we know exactly what of gas will be released and how to trap them, capture them, immobilize them. We have also a unique facility with the liquid salt test loop, and I will talk about that a bit later. The third task that I see very important is materials. You know, if you want to build a molten salt reactor, considering the harsh conditions, temperature, and the salt in itself, we need to make sure we have the right materials. And I took these words from Sam Sham, and I know he will present later today or tomorrow, but basically it's in 3 parts. The first part that we are doing right now is looking at the market. We have gaps in the codes and standard for 316H, so we're emphasizing experiments with 316H, and these are long experiments. It's not a few hours, it's several hundreds of hours of experiment. The second one is the near-term deployment, and I would like this campaign to team up with the advanced manufacturing campaign to look at how we could, for example, create a new clad that are more corrosion resistance on ASME qualified base metal. And the long-term, of course, solution, it's looking and developing the next generation of qualified structural material for molten salt reactor system. I have added also the salt graphite interaction. And I am very sorry. And if she's there, she knows who she is, but I didn't have enough funding this year. And I still think it is very crucial to continue these experiments. She has a little bit carryover. It's looking at the salt graphite interaction, especially for reactors like the one that is being built by Kairos Power. So it's a clean salt, but interacting with the triisofuel. So this kind of research is important. And finally, the modeling. When I started in this campaign, you know, they have different groups, they have different meetings, and I was listening to the group looking at off-gas release. And I was wondering, okay, if we look at iodine is going to be released, how much? How much iodine do I have in the salt? How much is it going to be released? And nobody could tell me, and I need to know. I would like to know. So for this reason, we're going to have a modeling also focusing on the evaluation of species transport towards off-gas in the vessel, in different regions of the reactor, to help guide the sensors development, to look at the corrosion of materials, the assessments, also at the source term models, and partnering with NIMS, the Nuclear Energy Advanced Modeling and Simulation Campaign. They have different tools, and after me, Chris Tanek, the NTD, will talk about that. It's very important that that we can, and I see I see Ed talking to me. Yes, I know, Ed, what you're saying, but still they use a salt, so that's the reason we include them. So this is very important for me, that we can leverage also the other campaign that we have at the ORNL. This one is just to illustrate the chemistry and the thermophysical properties that we're missing. Thank you so much, Professor Ted Bestman and Jack McMurray. They provided the slides to me, and I asked them to have color code because it's easy to understand. We have the fluoride salt, we have the chloride salt, we have different, I don't want to say the periodic tables in these salts, but basically at the end, this is what we will have. And we're missing some data, viscosity, density, thermal conductivity, heat capacity. So in green, as you can see, this is what we have in the model. In orange, it's in the literature. So of course, depending on the person who's doing the experiments, the date it was done could be 50 years ago, could be now. The purity of the salt, how it is described, sometimes it's difficult to model. And then in blue, this is what we're doing right now, sponsored within the campaign. You see all the white boxes. This is what we are missing. So that's the reason I really emphasize on the salt chemistry, bringing in on board, along with Oak Ridge and Argonne National Lab, INL, PNNL, and Los Alamos National Laboratory. I also bring people doing ab initio molecular dynamics. We talk a lot with Chris Tanek together. I think this is the right path to go, having modelers teaming up with the experimentalists, working very closely together. There's an existing facility right now, which is unique at Oak Ridge National Lab. I would like to use this facility as our bridge. You know, we talk a lot between the transition when you do an experiment in the laboratory and then when you transition to a more realistic world. And that's going to be the path. As you can see, we have several national labs involved with this research to look at different off-gas, xenon, iodine, tritium, also bringing in expertise from another office, the OENE 43. Dr. Stephen Kong is the office director. Dr. Ken Marsden is the National Technical Director. They have developed different sorbents, so we're going to use this sorbent to look at how we can trap these off-gas. And at the same time, we're developing the sensor to see how much is trapped and how we can monitor these off-gas. And this is an example. There's another one, which is the salt spill, the test that is done at Argonne, which is looking also in case of accident scenario, how your salt is going to spill all over, how we can have aerosols and so on and so forth. So this is a very well integrated team, I would describe. This is the MSR campaign. When I was at the OENE, I used to say I love to have the 3 pillars, and now I'm changing with the 4 pillars. If we have the government support, if we have the industry that is guiding us, remember the OENE is really focused on applied research as opposed to Office of Science, which is more the really fundamental. If we have the national labs, if we have the university, and this is what we have within the US MSR community, that's the recipe for success. So I'm very glad to be the National Technical Director. I interface with a lot of people, as you can see the arrows. Within these last 6-8 months, I talked to a lot of you, trying to understand what are the needs. And the OENE activities focus really on enabling MSR industry and building supporting infrastructure. I will partner with the other offices also to make sure that we will we will have a successful story. And the successful story is now. It's not in 10 years. This is now. There's a momentum, and we need to keep up with the momentum. This is funny. I love the campaign, and it's so little budget, very, very little. It's sometimes I'm thinking we should not be called a campaign, but we are a campaign. And I was very lucky to have other national technical director willing to team up with us to put this call. I cannot put any UP call, but we did the big one, the IRP call, $3 million over up to 3 years. It's looking again at the experimental and the modeling together of impurities and fission products in molten-salt and understanding the fundamental corrosion mechanisms of relevant structural alloys. I think I love it. I really love this call. I hope that you can partner with the industry to answer to this call. I will be participating in the pre-proposal review as well as Chris. I would like to thank Brian Robinson and Dave Henderson for teaming up so well. So universities are also important to me. I saw Dr. Kathy Huff talking about university coming from the university world. I was professor myself. Universities are important because they bring the next generation, the new workforce. We're all aging. I am aging, and we need to make sure we have a new workforce here. How can we involve the students with the campaign? It's through this call. Because of the low funding, very low funding that I have, like I said, we could not have any UP calls. However, I'm asking all these next fiscal year 2021 awardees to reach out to me. I would love to know what you're doing. I would love to invite you in the campaign review meeting. Your work is very important. And if you have publications, please send them to me. It's so busy. We don't have time to look at everything, but your work is important to me. I know that Dr. Stephen Kong is organizing a 2 or 3 days annual review of all the different NEUP awards for molten-salt reactor. I want you to make sure that it's not because I don't have a call for NEUP that I don't care. I do care, and please reach out to me. I was born in France, and maybe we have some French here listening, so I'm gonna say just a few words in French. We used to have publicity maybe 20, 30 years ago, and it was, on n'a pas d'argent, mais on a des idées. We don't have a lot of money, but we have a lot of ideas. And this is how I would love to describe this campaign. We have a lot of ideas. We're ready to help for the commercialization of molten-salt reactor, and we are trying really to leverage everything we can that are done with the other campaigns, and I'm mentioning the NIMS campaign. We're here really to address the technology challenges and to help having these reactors built up. I have 2 examples, and thank you, Dave, for sending me your slides. Dave will give a presentation at the Gen 4 International Forum MSR Provisional System Steering Committee, and in one of his slides, he has these 2 examples. Look at the date, Kairos Power license application end of 2021 for the Hermes test reactor, construction start 2023, operation 2026. Then the next one, Southern Company with the MCRE experiments, the integrated effects test facility, anticipated to be operational 2022. And then we have the MCFR, which will be around 2035. So there's a momentum. It's going fast, and we're there. We're on the train. It's a spin train, a fast train, and we need to keep up the momentum, and we need to make sure that all the efforts support the industry. That's the MSR campaign. And I may not have all, but these are the people that helped me to understand the campaign for the last 6-8 months. I would like to thank you, each one of you. Hopefully we will have students that are participating, and I know some of them are already engaged and working with us. Thank you, everyone. I wish you a very good workshop. Thank you again, Dave, for the invitation.
We are looking forward to a growing campaign, and we hear your focus and very much want to see this support you and help you to succeed.